Crystal, tell me about how Ginny came into your life.
Well, it was a huge surprise. You may already know we have a cat named Nutmeg, who's also a female orange tabby. So this story actually starts the night before Ginny showed up. So I'm sitting there and I'm doing laundry, and my son comes in and he's like, "Hey, Nutmeg got out." And I was like, "What?" Because she's an indoor cat, I'm not allowed to be outside. He goes, "Yeah, I was just walking by and I saw her out the window sitting on the deck. So I just ran out and grabbed her." And I was like, "Oh, well, thank goodness, good job." Didn't think anything more of it until the next night. My husband, Chris, is walking out the front door and he's like, "I'm just going to go out for a few minutes." And I hear the door open and I hear him say, "Nutmeg, what are you doing out here? How do you keep getting out?" So I look up. Nutmeg is sitting on my desk staring at me. And I'm like, "Honey." He goes, "Nutmeg's out here again." I go, "No, she's not. She's right here. She's sitting looking at me." He goes, "No, she's right here." So I pick Nutmeg up, tuck her under my arm, and I'm like marching down the hallway. He's going to be wrong, and I'm going to show him. So I'm about 6 feet from the door, and he goes, "Honey, stop and look at me." So I stopped, and there we are. We're just holding identical orange cats. And we just both go, "Oh no." Because immediately we thought, what if my son brought in the wrong cat last night? And so I go, "Okay, quick, feel the tail," because my Nutmeg has a kink at the end of her tail. And so it turned out that I did have Nutmeg. So I set her down and went outside, and we just snuggled with this sweet little stray. I mean, she was adorable. She just, rubbed her little face against your face and purred. And I thought, she must belong to someone because she's so sweet. About later that she was 8 months old, so they just abandoned this kitten. Chris was the one. He goes, "We can't just let her die out there because we have coyotes around here and everything. A kitten wouldn't stand a chance." And I was really reluctant because we already have 2 big dogs. We've got 2 cats. Well, why don't we just set out some food? And if she comes back and if we can catch her, we'll decide then. Well, of course, she came back, and of course, she wanted to be caught. And that's how we ended up with Ginny. And then when we took her in, I noticed that she was sleeping a lot and she was eating a lot. And I thought at first, well, that's just a stray, just catching up on stuff. And after a couple days, I was like, wait a minute. I hope she's not eating and sleeping so much because she's pregnant. And she was pregnant. So that's Ginny, and that's how we found out about the kittens.
Wow. Brian and me, we have had a cat or 2 for as long as we've been together, and blessed to have them for as long as we did. And finally last year, Perry went to join Monty on the Rainbow Bridge, and I'm sure they're happily playing with each other up there. And it's been a long process to see whether we could take in another cat again. We love the moments that we were with them, but then it's always heartbreaking at the end. But you got to focus on the good. Your story of Ginny and me and Brian thinking that we would be ready. So all the stars aligned. What was it about Brian and me that made you think that we were worthy of taking on one of the kittens?
The way you talked about your previous cats, I could tell how much love you had for them. When you approached me and said, "Hey, it might be time for us to take on another cat," I didn't hear the word replace. And a lot of times people will say, "It's time for me to replace my cat." Well, you can't do that. And that's something that is like a visceral reaction in me when people say that, because you can't replace a cat. A cat is a unique being. Just knowing that it was time for you to open your hearts again to another cat, like make space in your heart for another cat. I'm an English person, I'm a words person, and words matter. And so that was just one of those instances where your words mattered. I knew immediately. I'm one of those people that I read people pretty quickly, and I trust my gut a lot. And my gut just said, these guys are perfect.
Well, you don't know how much that really makes me happy that you would trust
No.
us with that, because I know it's not something that you would just. This is a big thing, and this is like your kids and your grandkids, and you just the fact that you would trust us, that just really means so much to me, and I see that trust that online from the people who are interacting with us, and it's just, I don't want to let anybody down, and I don't want to let this cat down. So
Oh, I have no doubt. You won't let them down.
It's kind of lonely not having a random piece of life, just, bobbing around, just disrupting things around here. And I figure it's probably time to fill that void again and have another cat again.
Yeah. Disrupting. I like that word because cats are great disruptors.